Rachel, welcome to the Source podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. How do you feel?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into all the things, here's a little backstory for anyone listening. Rachel is what I like to call the everyday it girl. And honestly, I think you coined that term yourself, which is what makes this even better. So I'll give you a little backstory on who Rachel is and why she's sitting on this couch with me. I found Rachel on TikTok a few years ago, and I immediately felt like I had finally discovered someone who's making the kind of content that I could actually relate to. So first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
She's into beauty, into luxury, but in a way that's thoughtful, self aware, and real, which you don't really find a lot. And you're also not afraid to be vulnerable and share what you're going through. She is a full-time finance girly. She's raising the cutest baby girl and creating content on TikTok and Substack. So that's a little bit of Rachel, and she has the most amazing perspective on life and all things. So we're gonna get into a lot of fun stuff today.
That's a very, very, very nice insight. No, thank you so much for saying all that.
Of
Wow.
course. Well, also, funnily enough, we've connected on TikTok and realized we live within, would you say, like 100 feet of each other?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
literally.
And now you're leaving me to move elsewhere. We won't talk about that, but we're a little upset by that. But really, it's like the power of the internet and this like parasocial relationship that kind of brought us together. So I'm excited for you to be one of the first guests on The Source.
I'm so honored.
All right. So now I'm going to put my phone away because it's time to get into it. So the first segment of the podcast is called Source Material. And if you don't know what source material is for everyone listening, it's really like the backstory to anything you're doing. So if you're launching something new, if you're doing a movie or reading a book, like you're like, what makes you who you are? So Rachel, what is your source material? What makes you you?
So I think a few things. One, I think family. Like I am such a big family girl.
Yeah.
If you ask me, like you have 3 things to do on the weekend, you're completely free. Like I will call my husband and hang out with my kid. That makes me who I am. I think work ethic makes me who I am. And the third, honestly, I think is just being really authentically me. I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, and I think your 30s, I don't know if you feel this way too, but like your 30s are for finally being the girl that you were too afraid to be in your 20s.
Amen to that.
So I'm like really just about if who I am doesn't jive with someone or they don't agree with it, like that's cool, peace and blessings. But like I'm very just like in my own skin right now, which feels very good.
That I
Yeah.
couldn't have said that better myself. That's also quite literally why we're sitting on this couch and doing it because I mean, we were talking about this before. Like, I did this podcast hiding from my like little apartment on my kitchen table, being like, I don't want to kind of like be fully out there, but that was like the 20s version of me. And
Yeah.
now, like, I think, like you said, when we're in our 30s and you've also had a beautiful baby, so you're like in this era of just like owning who you are and doing everything that you like always knew that you could. I think that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you're so lucky that you were able to do that before having a child. I feel like a lot of me feeling that way was after I had a kid because after I gave birth, I was like, I can do fucking
Yeah.
anything. Like that was my number one fear growing up was like childbirth.
Yeah.
And after I did that, I was like, oh, and what?
Yeah.
Like
Did
now I
that.
can do anything.
Women, elite. That's all I'll say. Elite.
That's really cool that you're able to like without any like big life event,
Yeah.
be like, you know what? It's actually my time now.
Yeah. And I think it's like the sort of the culmination of small things. And I know you've talked about this a lot with like just going through things that you've gone through, whether it's with friends or family or like anxiety or all those things, like these little moments that kind of muster up to the point where it pushes you off the edge. And you're like, you have two options. You can either do something or you can like wallow and be a victim. I've definitely been in that victim space where I'm like, woe is me, life sucks, nothing's going in my favor. But and you kind of have to like pick yourself back up. And I think that something that you talked about that I really resonated with, and I know everyone listening to, is like this idea of balanced ambition. And like, we're told that we need to have these insane careers and do everything and be a mom and be working a full-time job and have a TikTok, but also be fit and look great. That's sometimes not always the narrative that we want to share. So
Yeah.
talk to me about balanced ambition.
So I started talking about balanced ambition pretty openly because I am someone who, like, when I'm struggling with something, the only way out is through.
Yeah.
And although I talk about it like with my therapist once a week, it's a lot more helpful, I think, to sometimes just like I sit down with my camera and I'm not like, let me think about what to talk about. I just like start spewing how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And in the moment, I was feeling really overwhelmed. Like I have a very serious corporate job. now being a mom and then also doing content, I struggle a lot with like, am I making the best use of my time, or am I just doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing, or am I chasing something that is not like in the long run that important to my life,
Yeah.
or is that, is it going to make me feel whole? And I think what is important, and it's something that I also really struggle with, is wanting to get the most out of 24 hours. And although balanced ambition is about finding a balance, it's also about just like literally just raging through the day
Yeah.
and getting as much done as possible, because my whole thing is like, we might not be here tomorrow.
Yep.
We only have 24 hours in a day. Like,
Yep.
might as well do it all.
Yeah.
But I think this year I've really pulled back and realized that like my 80% is someone else's 100%. So in certain areas where I can pull back and not go full steam in every single facet of my life, it's actually been, I think, a really healthy
Yeah.
rebalancing. Yeah.
No, and I think that's a really great way to put it, because I feel like we're all chasing after something and we're told we need to chase after it, and that's exactly what I love when I heard that TikTok of yours, which was like, you have to decide what that looks like for you. Success looks different to everyone. Values are different for everyone.
Yeah.
The first thing you said was family. It's the same for me. And if that's not in place and you're not able to give time to that, then nothing else really matters. And so I think that equilibrium is important. But our generation of women, and especially I think the younger generation today, like the Gen Zers of it all, they're chasing these things without realizing that, like, this is how burnout is formed.
Mhm.
This is what happens when you compound so many things and you end up waking up one day and you're like, great, I have like crippling anxiety and I can't really function. And so I think that that term of like balancing and knowing that like sometimes you can just be, you're just going to be a mom that day. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to be like a kick-ass, corporate employee. Some days you're going to make like an insane TikTok, and that's the best you can do. And I think that I get caught up in that also, especially when like I'm someone who likes to do a lot of things and puts a lot of pressure on myself. And I think you are in the same category where like, it's like I'm my biggest fan, but my biggest hater all at once.
Which we need to talk about because I don't like that you do that.
I know, I know, I know. We're working on it. It's like we just need to like get out of that. And I think that that helps you kind of see life through a different lens and be like, okay, I'm going to give my time to this today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I think one thing too, just to like add to that, is like my narrative has really changed.
Yeah.
I used to be my biggest hater. Where
Yeah.
like if I did something as small as trip, in my head I'd be like, "You're so dumb. Like pick it up." But now I feel like, and it wasn't like an overnight thing, but literally every single time a thought comes into my brain, now it's positive. Which for years and years and years, it was so negative and it was so debilitating to the point where I was like, I cannot listen to this voice in my own head anymore. But I also think that like that's helped too once I stopped being a hater and started like cheering myself on. Getting through some of the harder times throughout the day has been easier because I'm like, oh, you got this. You've done it before. Like,
Right.
it's cool.
That's
Yeah.
true. And how did you, I mean, obviously it's not like an easy flip of the switch,
Yeah.
but what are some of the steps you took to get there? Because I know, like you said, I'm definitely on more of the negative side, especially internally. I'm everyone else's biggest fan. I'll be like, yeah, you go, girl, you got this, you can do this. When it comes to me, I'm like, no, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. That's
So we're working on that. But what did you do? Like if someone listening is kind of dealing with this, because I know a lot of women are hard on themselves, like what are some steps you took?
okay. Well, for being so honest,
Yeah.
and I didn't think I was going to go here, but I'm going to go here. When I was a senior in college, I'm trying to check myself so I don't get emotional. I've literally never talked about this out loud, except to my therapist, my husband.
Safe space.
Yeah. When I was a senior in college, I found a group chat with like my very best friends in the whole world. And it was months and months and months of just like the worst things you could read about yourself, like physically. And it wasn't even things that like I could have changed. Like if I was a bitch that morning, like those are things like,
Yeah.
okay, you read about that, you can check yourself and be like, gotta be nicer to people or whatever. It was all things that I felt were really out of my control. But what was interesting is like I crashed out so hard for like 6 months, like really crushed.
I
hard.
mean,
You would have not recognized the human I was. I was just like partying a lot, like being really um irresponsible. And when I look back on it now, I'm like, nothing can hurt me anymore because when you've seen like the meanest shit you could ever read about yourself from the people that you trusted the most,
yeah.
I think it changes your whole perspective on life. And now I'm like, if no one's gonna be there for me, like I have to be there for me.
Yeah.
So not to get like
No,
whatever.
oh my god, first of all,
But
thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
I can't even fathom going through that at 17, 18 years old
yeah.
and being like, or well, maybe 20.
21.
Years,
Well, I
yeah.
think it's important to share because I think a lot of women think that they have to like stay in not just like negative cycles with themselves, but like negative friendships, like things like that. And like there is another side to it.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to like kind of wipe your whole slate clean and start over new. But yeah, so that's the long answer of like why I started becoming an advocate for myself in my own head is I was like, I need to protect me
Yeah.
because no one else is going to do
Right.
that.
Yeah. And I think when you're at such an impressionable age, which like screw them, but we'll keep that for another
No,
conversation.
that.
We wish them well, but like,
I believe in karma.
yeah,
So.
that's true. I know. As a Jane, I believe in that too. So I should definitely not say that. But I think that when you're in an impressionable age at that point, like you have to make sure that you're doing what you did because you could also have chosen to believe what they said
Yeah.
and spiral and crash
Yeah.
out in a way that I think would have taken your life in a different direction. And so, first of all, like the strength in you to like pick yourself back up at that point is like really incredible because I'm not sure if everyone could do that.
Thank you.
And I know like in this age of social media, you're also on the internet. One of like my biggest fears is like being perceived by someone else and like having to like be like, no, but that's not what I meant, or that got taken out of context. And it's like, that's from people you don't know.
Right.
So when it's someone you know, like that just cuts a little bit deeper. But I think that the fact that you were able to kind of rewrite that narrative is something that like so many people go through different things in life. And like, I know for me, like totally different, but I've had like a lot of like friendship. I think like in college too, like we go through friendships and you
Yeah.
have like a friendship breakup where
By the way, nothing hurts worse than that. Like,
yeah, it
forget
like
boys.
I'm like I've been dating my husband since I was 19 and we've
Wow.
been together and I've never dated anyone besides him, so I've never actually gone through a breakup, which sometimes I joke I wish I did because I didn't really like I didn't understand dating. Whole other topic, but but with friendship breakups, that cut in the places where I still I don't think I've recovered. Yeah. No amount of therapy and no amount of anything. And so I think female friendships are so important. And I know we're now talking about something totally different, but it's important. And like to have women in your life that you can have these conversations with. And like I would just hope that for someone who's 21 today, like they're able to share this with someone or like find a safe space so they don't have to deal with something like this themselves.
Yeah, and like literally the only advice I have to give is like get rid of them now
Yeah.
because it's never too late to start over new.
Yeah.
And a friendship breakup hurts 10 times worse
Yeah.
than a breakup with a partner because that really cuts deep. I think
Yeah.
female friendships, especially.
Female friendships, I have said this so many times and I stand by it, are the most complex layered relationships, even more than like romantic relationships. They require 10x more work because as women, we're not conditioned to be friends. If you really think about it, like we were conditioned, like evolution, if you think about like the whole thing, to compete.
Yeah.
Like we were put on this earth to compete for like the man. And so everything is like born out of competition. And I think like people forget that. And so you have to really work so much harder to be like, no, I actually love her and I care for her and I want to foster this relationship and give to it. So yeah, well, cheers to female friendships. Cheers to being here. And on that note, I want to kind of like switch gears to talking about you being this like everyday it girl. So where did this come from?
So, again, I have like a surface answer, but I'll give you like the deep.
We're here to be deep.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
the
like
source of it all.
I love it. No, so I think growing up, I had it all and then it all got taken away.
Yeah.
So, and then we've like made our way back. But I think so going through different like financial stability has really pushed me, I think, to like always find peace with just make it work and make it look cute and like no one else has to know what's going on.
Yep.
And I think just like by nature, I'm a high-low girl. Like I'll never look at something and be like, oh, it's from I'm making it up like holes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is just not my vibe.
Yep.
Like if it's cute, it's cute.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. We're not Morgan Stewart.
No.
No.
Although
Like my queen, my goddess, like I would be her. But I don't know if you heard her podcast. This is a side note. She was on the cutting room.
Yeah.
And she was asked if she's a high-low girl. She's like, no,
No.
that's not me. But like obsessed with her for that.
She's in her truth.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
No. I love a high-low moment, but I think like it's so important to break the stigma of, like, when you see people online and you see creators, like, talking about how, like, "Oh, on a Tuesday, I was bored, so I went and got a matcha and a Van Cleef bracelet." Like, that's not real life.
I die.
But, like,
Yeah.
that's my whole For You
Right.
page. And after a while, I was like, "Okay, this is like" if I was an impressionable 20-something-year-old girl and I was watching this or in my teens,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about my daughter Sloane watching stuff like this when she's older,
Yeah.
like, I don't want her to think that this is normal or aspirational.
Yeah.
Like, what is aspirational is, like, being a good human, getting a cool job that you feel really strongly about, like, being close with your family, calling your parents. Those are things
Yes.
that you should be proud of, right?
Yes.
So, I think I was like, how do I try and show people that, like, an everyday it girl, like, doesn't mean that things are, like, outrageously expensive or, like, exclusive. It just means that you know good shit. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter where it's from. It could be, like, the best latte that you make at home, the best, like, tennis necklace, which we'll talk about. But, like,
Yes.
little things like that, I just think are so important that not everything has to be,
Like, literally, the
crazy.
Birkin Brigade is what I call it.
Yeah.
And I actually recording a solo episode later, and it's like, I feel so strongly about the fact that, like, they have made this, like, democratization of luxury feel so normal. Like
Mhm.
a 21-year-old thinks it's normal
Yeah.
to have 4 Cartier love bracelets stacked on her arm, and, like, you barely just graduated college. Like, and you're going into debt. You're using Klarna and Afterpay
Mhm.
to pay for these things. Like,
Yep. But also, like, what is there to look forward to? Like,
right.
if you're getting it all now,
What are you working
what are you
towards?
working
What
towards?
are you
Yeah.
working towards? Exactly. And so I love that. And I think what I love about the concept of everyday it girl is it's different to you and it's different to me and
Yeah.
it's different to someone listening. Like, I'd like to think that we're all it girls in our lives. Like, we're all this, like, everyday it girl, but all it means is that you have taste and
Yeah.
you own who you are. And it's not just the material
Mhm.
stuff. It's like being nice, like you said, being compassionate, like having values, and, like, it's like the whole package of it all. And I think that a lot of people think that it's just like, oh, she's the everyday it girl because, like, she's wearing the latest this and the latest that, and she has, like, the best makeup. But why can't you be both things? Like, there's this
Yeah.
duality of, like, you can be here. We're talking about really deep things. And I know we're going to talk about this, like, holy shit lip gloss that changed our lives because that's who we are. Like,
Which, by the way, is from the drugstore.
right, exactly. That's exactly it. It's like the high low of it all, but, like, the high low also applies to our lives. Like, you could have had the craziest morning of your life today, but, like, you're here recording the
Mhm.
podcast. And I think, like, social media plays a part of this perception where people just see, like, what you want them to see.
Yeah.
But I think we need to, like, understand that we all live these, like, multifaceted, layered lives, and we show up in ways that we want to that make us feel good. And I think that's,
Yeah.
like, what I have taken from you sharing, like, this whole concept of this everyday it girl.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's important too. And also just, like, normalizing having a corporate job.
Yes.
I think it's
Oh
so
my
important.
god.
Like, I was on okay, so I take the ferry and then I take the shuttle bus. And I was on the
Love
bus the
that,
other
Barry.
and someone was like, "Wait, you're Rachel Stahlke?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" We were talking. And she was like, "You are taking the bus." I was like, Obviously, this is my get to work." But, like, little things like that where I don't know if people felt like I was, like, making it up, that I, like, go to work, then I come home and I cross all these different things.
Does it right?
So I
Yeah.
literally was on the bus. Because it's the most efficient way to get to work.
I will forever be a New Jersey Transit girly pop, like, forever be sweating on that bus stop, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Like,
Yep.
how can you not? And for
Yeah.
me, like, being a corporate girl was my entire identity for, like, and just we've talked about this too. And through layoffs and all of that, like, my kind of, like, rhythm changed, but also in the field that I'm in, there's way more opportunity to, like, build my own consultancy and, like, work with clients. But if I didn't have structure in my day or if I didn't have something else to do, I know we've talked about that, I would go crazy. And
Yeah.
I just think, like, people have normalized, like, going to Pilates at 11 o'clock, getting a matcha at 2 p.m. And the generation that just graduated college thinks that's what they're, like, aspiring to be. I read this crazy thing where if you ask, like, 67% of women who just graduated college what they want to be, they want to be an influencer.
I saw this.
They want to be a content creator,
It was disturbing to me, to be honest.
which, like, as a creator, as a group, which, like, first of all, when we graduated college, we didn't even know this was a thing.
Correct.
And that doesn't mean you can't do it, sure. But I think what makes people the most interesting creators are when you have other things that you do in life.
Yeah.
You can, like, bring that perspective in. If you're just sitting there talking about makeup all day, it can work for you. And I feel like there are women who've, like, exceeded past that point, like the Alex Earls of the world, but it couldn't be me.
Yeah, I think the people that are able to do that, like, great for them.
Yeah.
Like, I think that that's amazing and that's something that they really love. If I'm being totally honest, like, content creation doesn't come naturally to me. It's not second nature. I was always behind the camera, like,
Yeah.
working in marketing, working with
Yeah.
influencers, again, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, but I think what has been cool is obviously it's unlocked a whole other part of my life, which has been exciting at times. But
Yeah.
to your point, like, I am someone who this could go away tomorrow. And, like, if it goes away tomorrow, like,
What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna
Yeah,
do? Okay, you
exactly.
can't put, like, content creator on your resume.
Right.
Um
Which, like, I feel like people are starting to now
Yeah.
because it is on the flip side of that, it is like this crazy billion-dollar industry and there's that. But the mental toll of it is something that I don't think, like, I would wanna grow up with. And if I
Yeah.
think if we grew up, like, right now, and if we started creating content at 20, 21,
Mhm.
I can't imagine how high our therapy bills would be.
I agree. Can I tell you one thing, though,
Yeah.
that's, like, a hot tip? I think when you think of content creators, you think of people that are chronically online.
Yeah.
I am the most offline person in the entire world. I
Yeah.
actually spend more time on my Instagram, which is funny because I just made myself public, like, very recently.
Right, yeah.
Um, and I don't scroll, I don't doom scroll. I view it very much so as when I was a teenager, when we would read like 17 magazine
Yeah.
or Cosmo. You flip through, you do your thing. Once the magazine's done, you close it and you put it away,
Yeah.
which is how I view TikTok. Like, once I'm done interacting with like my audience, like, I don't need to keep scrolling. Like, yeah, I'm setting the trends. I don't need to be like,
Yeah,
about that.
yes, you are. Yeah, but I know exactly
Whatever. But
no,
I'm like,
but I
this is
think
brain rot.
but I think that's exactly like, we have 2 perspectives here, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to change mine, which is, like, you joined these places and these platforms to create content.
Right.
I started as a consumer of the
Mhm.
content, and I realized that that was not doing like, that was not faring well for my brain. That
Yeah.
is making me feel like I'm brain rotting. I don't know what's going on. I'm chronically online and I have so many ideas. I'm too scared to put it out there. And
Yeah.
so now I'm kind of like almost switching to what you're doing,
You're
which
doing
is
the
like,
dang thing.
yeah, we're doing the damn thing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, exactly that. But you're right. Like it's a business. You
Yeah.
have to treat it like you turn it on and you turn it off. And that's also why I love Substack, which I know you're on Substack too. Substack to me feels like being 17 magazine, like reading a 17 magazine.
I'm obsessed.
It's like the spoken word, the written word, like we've lost all concept of that.
Yeah.
And it's like slowly coming back.
It's slowly coming back. I wrote this like post on Substack the other day where it was like all of the cool girls that were reading Into the Gloss at their corporate jobs
Yes.
are now on Substack. It's
Yep.
like every girl that just yeah,
Right here.
literally like every girl that just knows what's up
Yeah.
and is like intelligent and wants to spend time like learning, creating,
Yes.
cultivating relationships with
Yes.
women and brands and like it's everything. And I'm trying to now when I commute, I like just open Substack.
Substack. No, same,
And
like
I don't
Twitter. Like, I
yeah,
love the feed
yeah,
too, because it's like I get some ideas from there because I'm like, the visuals people post, it's like
so
a
good.
Pinterest
So
meets
good.
Twitter or X or whatever you call it, but without the craziness. And I don't want the news because I get that anywhere else. I don't wanna see what crazy shit's happening for, like, the 10th time today because God, like, that's a whole other
Yeah. I think
conversation.
this is the year of Substack.
It
I
is.
really do.
I agree, I agree. So, subscribe to Rachel's Substack and the Source of Substack
Yeah.
so you can be there. All right, well, we are going to move into what I'm calling the hot girl seat part of the conversation, and we're gonna ask you some fun rapid fire questions. Tell me exactly what's on your mind, and yeah, we'll have some fun.
Okay.
You ready?
I think so.
Okay. What is a hill you're willing to die on forever and ever?
Mm. Skincare doesn't have to be complicated.
Retweet all of the things.
Yeah, I think, like, the consumer mindset has made you think you need to have, like, a 10-step skincare routine and get retinol and do this and do that, like, pare it all down, make it super simple for yourself,
Yep.
make it easy, do the stuff that works for you. What works for me might not work for you, vice versa, like
1000%.
yeah,
Yeah.
just it doesn't have to be that complicated,
Yeah.
same thing with makeup.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fun fact here, I had a skincare Instagram in like 2016 called Millennial Skin, and I have really bad acne prone skin my whole life. And I tested, this was the drunk elephant era, like
Oh,
I'm talking about
yeah.
Sunday Riley.
Yes.
Spent all my hard-earned money on these products, messed up my skin to the point where if I show you a picture, you'll be like, "Oh god," and would, like, recommend products to people, and in creating that account, I messed up my skin, essentially, and I realized that ever since that day, I will never share, like, a like kind of like a blanketed, this product's gonna work for you. Because no matter if you have perfect skin or if you have not perfect skin or textured skin or whatever, it's not the same.
Correct.
It's like, it's just not the same. I think there's like tried and tested things that work, like CeraVe face wash and like basic things. Gentle things. But like if you're using retinol, it's not gonna work on me.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Also medical grade skincare.
Always.
Medical grade skincare for the girlies. Like stop buying all the Sephora things. Like I wanna be obsessed with Broad. Didn't do it for me. Clogged my pores.
I like certain things from
Okay.
Rose.
Yeah.
But
See, there we go.
it has pore clogging ingredients.
Right.
So like use
Exactly.
it sparingly. And like if you're doing it under a day where like you want your makeup to look super like glowy, amazing.
Yeah.
Do it. But it's not like an everyday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. Speaking of, we're staying in the same vein. What is a beauty or household product that you know is a scam, but you're going to keep buying it anyways? Whether it's for like the vibes or the aesthetic.
I don't know if it's a scam, but I love like a beautiful incense burning moment.
Is
It's
that?
not a scam, but like
No, it's not a
like,
scam, but yeah, exactly.
I'll always keep them burning in my home. I think again, the whole like home scent thing is like I thrive in this moment. Like my home has a very specific scent.
You're a
and
fragrance girl.
I am such
I'm
a
not.
fragrance
Yeah.
girl. Oh, you're not?
I'm not. Like I joke, I only wear perfumes that people are gift me.
Oh,
And I finally on my last gift. So I'm like, who's gonna buy me a perfume now?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can bring you a
Okay,
perfume when I
perfect.
see you tomorrow. Yeah, I think people think like, oh, we should buy candles, whatever, but like I'm super into like non-tox moments.
Yes.
So
So what's your fragrance right now? What's your fragrance?
okay, so our home smells like mandarin basil. It's like a very
Okay.
specific.
All right. Yeah.
Have you tried any of like the home court
Yeah.
products?
Yeah.
Insane.
Courtney Cox, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which like is so random because like no shade to Courtney Cox, but like what?
Yeah, like the connection feels a little odd.
I actually ignore the connection.
Yeah.
And I just because like it doesn't make.
Yeah.
But the products are insane.
Okay.
Flamingo Estate. Have you tried those candles?
No.
The Roma tomato or heirloom tomato and Roma.
Is that a thing now? Loewe? Trader Joe's?
Oh, good.
Trader Joe's has one.
I heard that the Trader Joe's one is like a perfect year for the Loewe.
No, it is. But my husband is he's like the candle queen in our house. Like I always joke, he loves candles. He lights one every single night. And I'm like, we need to like not. Yeah. So you guys will
But
get
like
along.
home scent is definitely a scam that I buy into all the time.
Love it. Okay. What is a kind of like Delulu thought or mantra you have that you say to gas yourself up when you're feeling just schmeh?
This is really lame. I've done it.
Lame.
Okay, I've done it for every single job that I've wanted to get.
Okay.
When I knew that I was going to get a call from like the recruiter or whatever that day, I walk and I like say this mantra out loud. It's literally Ariana Grande from Seven Rings.
Freddie. Oh my God. I know
that I see it. You have to think it. I wanted. I got it. And every single sorry, my sticky boots are coming off.
No, you're
and
fine.
every single time I've said it, something good happens. So
I like
literally
want it. I got it.
all the
day.
time. And anytime my husband's like trying to get something or will something or manifest something, I'm like, you know what to say?
Yeah.
Call an Ari.
All right.
And I literally say,
Call in Ari. Yeah. Ari besties, we love you.
Yeah.
Okay, love that. I'm gonna use that now. All right. And the last one is if your current life chapter had a dress code to it, what is it?
honestly, probably what I'm wearing now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I feel like I love a casual, like boxy top, like a tee, and some type of cool pant because realistically, like I'm picking up my daughter's things, I'm cooking her food, I'm wiping boogers off of her face 90% of the time. I need something like easy breezy.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really leaning into like, I love how Coco Schiffer dresses. There's this girl I follow on Instagram, Luma DeMello. She dresses sick. Like,
Love it.
just monochrome, simple, but like a really chic pony and like your makeup.
Love it. Well, this is like everything. And I was going to say, I feel like elevated casual is where everyone's playing. And I realized that I've tried to do 50 other things and I come back to that because that's just like
timeless.
That's just timeless. And that's what sticks in your closet.
Yep.
All right. Now for the last bit, we're going to flip the script a little bit because I feel like when you're on a podcast, the host is always talking and yapping, aka me. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to ask me anything, to say anything to our audience. If you have a thought that you're like, you've been holding, this is your space.
Okay. Was there like a holy shit moment, like a specific moment where you were like, I'm just going to do this and try all the way?
So many. I can like point out 15, but one of the biggest holy shit moments was actually 2 weeks apart. I got 2 separate emails to my Modern Millennial email account from people I did not know sending me like, hey, I know this is weird, but we really miss your podcast. We really loved it. It really helped me through some dark times in my life. Like, just wanted to know, when are you bringing it back? And those two moments of two girls that, like, I don't know who they are personally, was like, what am I doing? What am I sitting on? What am I so scared of? And like, why am I just like holding back on like sharing the things I want to share because I'm scared of, like, I don't know, maybe the 20 people closest to me, like, what are they going to say? Yeah, literally around you. And we know that, but it was those two moments. And I still have the screenshots. I like was in Trader Joe's once and I started like tearing when I read that because I showed my husband and I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, it's a
And
sign.
it was a sign. Exactly. It was two signs within 2 weeks. Before I got the emails, I was like, you know what? I want to live this like private life. I just want to continue at my corporate job and that. 2 weeks later, I was like, no, no, this isn't it. This is going to be it. And I'm going to like make it work and kind of rewrite the rules of working
Yeah.
so I can do all the things I wanted to do.
I'm
That's the way we are.
Well, we're really doing it.
We're really doing it.
I'm really proud.
You're doing it. I'm proud of you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. I know that you shared some like deep cuts, but that's what life is about. That's what the Source is about.
Yeah.
It's the high and low of it all. And for everyone listening, thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to leave a rating or review and share it with a friend. It goes a long way. Also, subscribe to our Substack for more fun and to stay updated on all things. We'll see you next week. Until then, sending you all the good vibes.